Horizon and this is Why Does Russia Own Kaliningrad? Or Königsberg, I guess there are two names to this. Why the channel History Matters. Yeah, I get if I'm guessing this is not bordering Russia, otherwise they won't be asking that. So this is like how Britain owns Gibraltar, right? And also other European colonies like France also owns certain other places. France owns a lot of places around other continents, right? That are considered mainland France, weirdly. So I guess there is an island in the Indian Ocean, right? Where if you take a flight from there to Paris, it is considered the inter-country flight rather than international flight, which is kind of weird. But yeah, although History Matters, I'll try to react to this channel every day because it's a small clips, 4 or so minute clips that explains history topics basically, even the topics that you never think of but are interesting. But yeah, let's watch it. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. I'm trying to make another alternate channel for history, science, or any knowledge type of things, general knowledge, science, any type of thing. Because right now I'm uploading a lot of like game videos, history videos, and yeah, algorithm is just going crazy. So yeah, let's watch this one.
If you look at a modern map of Europe, you'll see a curious exclave along the Baltic Sea. This is Kaliningrad and has been a part of the Russian Federation since 1991. The more observant of you will have noticed that it isn't attached to Russia, which raises the question, why does Russia own Kaliningrad and
Germany?
how did it come to possess it? Well, first of all, the region, centred on a city of the same name, hasn't been known as Kaliningrad for very long, but prior to this was known as Königsberg. From the 13th century, it was a part of the lands of the Teutonic Order, and by the 16th century, Königsberg was the central part of the newly formed Duchy of Prussia, a puppet state of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. It wasn't long before Prussia broke free, and Königsberg was the site which saw the first king of Prussia crowned. Within a few centuries, it had grown to this, and by the late 19th century it was the dominant force within the newly formed German Empire. As you'll be able to guess, Königsberg, whilst not the capital, held a special...
Whoa, really? Königsberg that close to Berlin? Huh. I mean, now I understand why with the recent developments, Germany decided to, I guess, create its own military force, right? If Russia owns a place that is that close to Berlin, yeah, they're going to sweat a bit.
Special place within the German Empire as one of its cultural centres and the birthplace of its ruling dynasty. The point I'm trying to get at is, for about 6 centuries prior to this point, Königsberg and its surrounding area was primarily German, although you should note that there were sizable Polish and Lithuanian minorities there too.
I don't want to pause too much, but yeah, its name was Königsberg. Whenever it's a Berg, it's probably German, right? That's why in the Russian Revolution, they changed the name of St. Petersburg to, what was that? Petrograd, yeah, I almost forgot the Petrograd, and after a decade or so, they changed it to Leningrad. It changed name twice in 1 or 2 decades. That was ridiculous. But I guess they changed it because it was a German name, apparently. I didn't know that, right? I reacted to lots of history videos and someone point that out, that St. Petersburg is a German name. If it ends with a Berg, it's probably some kind of a German name. So I guess that's why they took it over and named Kaliningrad, I guess.
The status of this land didn't really change until the Second World War, although you should be aware that the 1919 Treaty of Versailles after the First World War saw Germany lose this territory in its ruling Prussian dynasty. As you'll notice, it did keep Königsberg itself, but this time as its own exclave known as Eastern Prussia. You'll also notice that it did lose this land to the newly formed Lithuania, which throughout the period of the Weimar Republic was a hotbed of support for the growing National Socialist movement, which soon saw a certain Adolf Hitler running the show, who got this land back from Lithuania, and also cue World War II, which Germany lost.
So that one decision of the one place, if I guess people around World War II, changes just a bit, like who owns that particular place, right? All the movements probably wouldn't have risen, and Hitler wouldn't have gotten as much as power that he did. Really, just because of that few tweaks. This is incredible. Every time I hear some history topic like this, where this was like a butterfly effect, like how one decision kind of led everything, is just ridiculous.
1945, Soviet forces advanced on Königsberg, and this led to many of the people living there fleeing west deeper into Germany. After a destructive siege, the city fell to the Soviets, and after Germany's surrender, its borders were once again redrawn by the victorious powers. This time, Germany was to lose Königsberg and the area around it to Stalin's USSR and its new Eastern European puppet states. The region of East Prussia was thus divided into three parts. The southern part went to Poland and the northern part went to the USSR, but as a part of the Lithuanian Soviet Republic. And as for the centre, which included the city of Königsberg itself, this went to the USSR's Russian Soviet Republic. So why wasn't it given to Lithuania despite being next door? Well, at this point, Lithuania had only recently been incorporated into the USSR, mostly against the will of those who lived there, and thus Stalin didn't trust them with an area of such military importance. Furthermore, the region was subject to widespread ethnic cleansing.
And we know how trusting Stalin was. It's surprised he didn't paint all Lithuania at that point. Right after that, like, oh, no, there was no Lithuania. It's all Russia. Yeah. I mean, this is just fucked up. So basically, they just mobilists took over the place. I mean, if I watched this video a year ago, this video is from 2019, I'm like, oh, imagine those days, right? We don't have to imagine anymore. Feels eerily similar. But yeah, this is all fucked up. And basically, in the Soviet times, they just went way too ballistic, right? They couldn't even keep the name, that anything that doesn't sound Russian. They would change the name, like Königsberg to Kaliningrad. It has to end with a grad. Obviously, after, I guess Soviets fall, they changed the St. Petersburg to St. Petersburg again from Leningrad. Yeah.
Which saw most of its remaining Germans deported to East Germany and replaced mostly with Russians. That said, when Stalin died, his successor Nikita Khrushchev did offer Kaliningrad to Lithuania, who said no. Why? Because the people there weren't Lithuanian, and its leaders felt that incorporating so many Russians into its territory would cause long-term issues. Thus, Kaliningrad would remain a part of the Russian Soviet Republic throughout the lifespan of the USSR until its collapse in 1991.
Yeah, so people who ran Lithuania basically had more brain than most people, right? They realized, no, those are mostly Russian. Even if you own it, there's going to be friction. I mean, we don't want that shit. If only people understood that. But that's just some next level shit. Again, Normans did the same thing, right? Millennia ago, where they basically went to, now Britain, basically went to that land and just replaced everybody with, the nobility from France or whatever. So at this point, like third of everybody in England is traced back to them. So they did the similar shit. They just replaced everybody with Russians. But again, with the Soviet Union, it kind of makes sense.
This marked a point in which the status of the area could have changed. Lithuania still wasn't interested in Kaliningrad for the same reasons as before, and this view was shared by Poland. That left Germany, which had a long-standing historical claim to the area. So why didn't they get it? First of all, it was because the Russian Federation inherited the lands of the Russian Soviet Republic, and also because Germany didn't want it. During the process of reunification, the West German Chancellor Helmut Kohl didn't push to regain the exclave. His first priority was the reunification of East and West, and he felt that trying to force the issue of Kaliningrad would upset the global powers he was trying to negotiate with. Britain and France were already wary of a reunified Germany, and to give it extra land was, to them, a cause for yet more concern. And so, Germany never tried to reclaim
You have Gibraltar, why can't we have that? No, you can't, because of world wars.
Königsberg, which was barely even German anymore. And for Russia, Kaliningrad was just as Russian as any other bit of it, and so why would they even contemplate letting it go? I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for watching, with extra thanks to my Patreon supporters, which you can...
Well, there you go. I don't know if this is going to be a problem going forward, how things are happening today. But I guess, it kind of makes sense why some people are sweating right now. And Germany basically declaring that they are creating some kind of military force and spending money there, right? Because there's a literal base that Russia could create in that place, right? Which is close. But yeah. Well, that was why does Russia own Kaliningrad? Basically, it boils down to every time because of the world wars. Alright, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the link in the description, check out the cards, and yeah, I'll see you next time.